This is Cookie Chainsaw Randolph of Jack FM 100.7. Oh, anyway, when I'm off the air and I've got nothing else to do, I stop doing that and I check out Live Fit magazine. It's my favorite. Do I have that right? Did I get that right?
You're my favorite. Oh!
Wow.
What a grip, huh?
Live Fit magazine, Live Fit magazine. Oh, I'm getting fit right now.
I'm Phoebe Chong-Chua. You're watching Live Fit magazine. We go inside the studios of a longtime reigning San Diego radio personality team to see what they're like on the air and off the air. Plus, wow.
A little bit of chocolate flavors and blackberry, smoky undertones.
We take you to the World of Wine event in Temecula to meet the newest winery on the block and see what a family-run winery is storing on their vineyard. We show you their private collection. Also, Live Fit magazine travel writer Cynthia Dial goes on assignment with her wine glass.
We're to socialize, sip, and swirl in Southern California.
Plus, Chef Bernard is back. He's taking us to Tuscany with his amazing risotto. It's all coming up on this edition of Live Fit magazine.
How are you?
Great, great to see you.
It's good to see you too.
You look like you get younger.
For decades, Dave Rickard, Shelley Dunn, and Cookie Chainsaw Randolph have been and continue to be the legendary team of on-air personalities that make the morning drive bearable. But the team wouldn't be complete without Boyer on drums, 66 on traffic, and producer Emily McGuire.
It's like a big family here. I love working with them. They get along so well, and I love that it's just real. They're very genuine.
From their quick wit, both on and off the air, the DSC morning team keeps you laughing.
I'm happy, I'm grateful, I'm living every day like a 12-year-old boy.
Every day like a 12-year-old boy?
Every day.
We're not going to go there.
Every day. Trust me, Kimberly-Clark stock has gone up 8 points, and the folks at Lubriderm are eternally delighted.
The team started in San Diego in the early 90s. Dave was brought in from a Denver radio station, Shelley from Arizona. They were first called the Dawn Patrol on KGB. In 1994, they became Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw.
We're going on 23 years now. With these crazy guys that I work with. You know, Cookie and I worked together at a radio station in Phoenix, and he was hysterical. In fact, before I even worked at that station, I did overnights at a station across town, and there were like 3 people who would call me up and request songs, and they'd say, and then I'm going to stop listening to you because I got to go hear Cookie on the other station. So I would drive across town, getting home after my overnight shift, and hear this unbelievably funny guy, and I later got to work at that station, became friends with him. As radio goes, Cookie's morning show was blown out, and I had a morning show there for a while that got blown out, and I was looking for work, and I called Cookie here in San Diego, and he said, yeah, send me a tape and resume, and within 2 weeks I was here in San Diego.
How do you come up with material?
I drink heavily.
Which is why we brought the wine into this.
And cruise the internet. No,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that. It's a spontaneous creation where somebody will come up with an idea and then it will be fostered and developed further in the line, and it really works out well. After 23 years, we all kind of get each other. And nobody is the same. We're all just a little bit different, and we all look at things at just a little bit different angle.
It's how they see these things that is part of what's kept them thriving all these years. But in 2010, the DSC show faced its greatest challenge.
You get fired just like everybody else, but we were lucky enough to be picked up here by KFMB, and you know, it's such a great fit for us. We just absolutely love it here.
But the industry has drastically changed. There are more resources than ever to get entertainment, new talent coming into the marketplace all the time, and many ways to listen and watch.
It's changed our industry big time. You know, anybody who's on TV, anybody who's on radio has seen their amount of audience diminish significantly. They may be listening to our show, but they're listening either on a computer or they're listening on their phone, and a lot of times you don't get credit for that. You don't get the ratings for that, which is kind of it's kind of a raw deal, but that's just the way the world is these days.
What do you tell people who want to go into this industry?
Get out. I don't need the competition because, trust me, I got to keep this gig. I got a house payment, I got 2 dogs and a dune buggy, and they all have a payment. So stay away.
How much has social media played into it for you guys?
Well, actually, it's been a great benefit to us because now we can feed off of Facebook input You know, we have Facebook pages, and Dave will throw, most of the show is Dave, let's face it. He drives the show with his content, and we're just kind of playing along and chirping and ad-libbing and being silly. But no, Facebook in particular is great because Dave can put out a question that he wants a lot of different responses to from the listeners, and he can have it written out for him right in front of him. It's like we have writers for the show.
What do you do in your off time?
In my off time?
Yeah, what's it like? You're sleeping.
I mean, well, you know, I'm not a good napper, and so, you know, throughout the years I've just discovered that what I have to do is power through the day. I've got 2 boxer dogs that I love to death, and they have to be run, and so our big day is going to Fiesta Island. That's what gets my head clear. And then I garden, and I met a wonderful guy who lives with me, so I love to cook for him, and his daughter lives with us, so I'm learning about teenagers, and
oh boy.
I know, you know. So it's been just a wonderful couple of years of late getting this next chapter of my life together. So that's how I stay somewhat sane. I mean, the jury's still out on that.
Tell me about what you do in your off time.
I have this thing at home. It's called a couch. And I sit on it, and I don't move. And I turn on my old man movie channels like AMC and Turner Classic Movies, and I just sit there until 3:30 in the morning, and I come back here.
And we're so glad he does. Waking up to the DSC show is how we live fit, live well, and live it up in San Diego.
Here we go. So the economy is pretty tough. So the economy is really tough. Economy is pretty tough. Always searching for a day job. It's a great job, but I'm a little concerned about the commute. India is really far away.
Raw talent? Looking for a new career? Get cooking. Be a chef. San Diego Culinary Institute, the school for creative people who also want to make a good living. Visit sdculinary.com. Learn how to become a professional chef.
Who brought the funny?
What I just did, right? 2 ladles at a time. Then when the liquid is absorbed, I will add a little bit more of the broth.
We're in the kitchen with Chef Bernard. Don't miss his fabulous risotto. That's coming up on Live Fit magazine. But first, we're off to Temecula.
Has some like motorcycles and racing cars, so I did a racing track.
Tell me a little bit about Dolfo.
Well, I began making wines in my backyard in the late 80s. I am a farmer from South America. I bought this 5 acres and planted, and one thing led to another, and today we're having a very small, successful winery.
That's pretty exciting. I mean, that's the stuff that movies are made of.
Sometimes, yes. It's a lot more work than a movie, but yes, it's our family, the kids, and very small production. We are not even getting to 2,000 cases a year. I think Temecula is already on the map because the demographics and the 22 million people that we have surrounding are already knowing that this is an incredible weekend getaway, fairly affordable, with great quality service and also incredible wines.
So tell me about what you're doing here. Why are the motorcycles?
Well, motorcycles are a passion since my childhood, and I've been collecting them, and they just make me happy, and I wanted to share and show them with the people that come to our winery, and especially in this area for our wine club members and friends. I come from a different industry in Orange County, and moving here was really a dream retirement with a lot of work.
So you're not really retired.
I think I am because I do something with so much passion and involvement that I will do it for free.
Dolfo sits at the furthest end of Temecula. Down the road a bit is the new kid on the block, still under construction when we visited Lorimar Winery.
Hi, my name is Mark Manfield. I'm with Lorimar Winery, and I just thought I'd show you around a little bit. We have this Founders Tower. As you come through the doors here, you'll walk in and we'll have all of the founding members, our wine club, on a brick wall inside there. You kind of feel the volume, the stone, and you can walk out to this beautiful piazza where the pergolas are.
From wine tastings to weddings, Lorimar is a delightful destination with plenty of variety.
My Father always said, you can't sell from an empty shopping cart. So I think we have something for everyone here.
It sure looks that way.
We have 22 different wines. We have sparkling, we have medium body to full body, white, dry to sweet. I want to let you try, first off, my Sangiovese. I'm just going to pour you a little bit. Taste it. It's got like a cherry layer to it. It's really easy to drink, great with pastas and you know, little lighter dishes.
All right, this is really not, I like this. Let me tell you what I like, because I'm definitely not the expert at this, but from the novice opinion, it's just smooth. I don't taste a bite to it.
Absolutely. It's easy to drink. You could sit down and enjoy a bottle of this with your friends and just have cheese and crackers if you wanted to. It's not like you got to have the big steak or whatever. I've got another one here that I think you're going to really like. This is a Cab Franc. Cab Franc is normally done with a Bordeaux. So you normally don't see a single varietal like this because they don't make a lot of them because it doesn't stand on its own. But this one does. It's light, but it's easy to drink, but it's still got a lot of fruit on it. So I'm going to let you try a little bit of this and see what you think. This is also the same consistency, medium body. No bite to it, easy to drink, great finish.
You know what I also like about it is it has a sweetness to it, but it's not overpowering, you know, so right. It's got sort of that natural fruity flavor that you would expect from grapes, but not something that just tastes sickeningly sweet.
Exactly. Well, you know, it's not about sweet or dry, it's about what is your taste, your palate, and what you enjoy, and what food to enjoy it with. Let's see here, the Fusion. This is a Zinfandel Petite Syrah. And
I like Petite Syrahs.
Oh, well, wait till you try. The Petite Syrah that's in here, I'm going to let you try that next. This is 80-20, so 80% of this is Zinfandel, 20% is the Petite Syrah. The Petite Syrah has a smoky bacon, whereas the Zinfandel is more fruity and peppery. And it's a great combination. We call this Fusion. And it's a very...
I got to stop you, Mark. Honest to goodness, really, these wines are great.
Well,
I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
And you know, I'm not the expert, but I can tell you that these are smooth, they're easy to drink, and you don't have that. You know what I was saying? Sometimes you take a sip of a wine and it's like, oh, that's sharp.
It doesn't, yes. Although we do have a few of those that have the big tannins in them. You know, we have, I think, something for everyone. I'm kind of directing you to what I think would be appropriate for your palate. But we have the big tannin wines if someone needs it. But I really like to make wine that's easy to drink and pairs up well with foods. Everyone calls it our bacon wine. It's real smoky, and it's got this bacon layer to it. And look at the color of it. It's like ink. So it's just an amazing color. And smell it. It's got this almost Hickory Farms. It makes you think of when you went in Christmas time and smell the Hickory Farms store. It's kind of that. It's got a real
very nice
velvety mouth to it.
It sounds like I'm just, you know, what Memorex, right? Repeat, repeat. But really, really very, very nice.
Well, thank you, thank you. You know, the ultimate compliment is for people to love our wine, okay? And that, there's no better compliment because we don't get into this, you know, just for the money. It's not about the money. It's about really, you know, the experience, and hopefully we can provide something that you'll remember and take home with you.
All right, so I'm curious, how do you make a wine smell and taste like this? I mean, it really does smell like bacon.
Well, it starts in the vineyard. Obviously, you have to manicure. You've got to get the most concentrated grape possible. So we manicure it down to where it only produces about 3 to 4 tons of grapes per acre. And then it has to be harvested at the right time and fermented correctly, and then it needs to be put into the very finest barrels to get the ingredients to give you those layers. And we'll put it in a heavily toasted barrel in order to get that smoky flavor. The barrels are really considered ingredients. On my tax returns, that's how I report them. And that's what adds the flavor. A lot of times people think that we actually add flavor or something to it. That's not true at all. We never add anything like that. It's all done through natural process and what the wine comes in contact with, which is the barrels.
For over 30 years, San Diego has trusted Marracal Design and Remodeling.
One of the best decisions I've ever made was choosing Marracal for my remodeling needs.
Marracal listened to our needs
and then exceeded our expectations.
Remodeling can be scary, but Marracal gave us peace of mind.
Their team transformed our old kitchen into the new heart of our home.
They created the home I've always wanted.
Insist on quality and value. Call Marracal Design and Remodeling.
I'm Gary Marracal. Trust your home to us.
We're to socialize, sip, and swirl in Southern California. I'm Cynthia Dial. Did you know Temecula means place of the sun? So I thought, what better to do on a sunny day in Southern California than head up Temecula and go to its wineries? I have a few favorites, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about each of them. Briar Rose is a winery that's a bit off the beaten path, but it's well worth it to see it. Now, it was designed by one of the creators of Disneyland. This was in the 1950s that they created Disneyland, but today's Briar Rose is like Snow White's cottage, so don't miss it. And then we could head to Dofo. Dofo is at the very end of Rancho California Road. So you've passed most of the major wineries by the time you get there, but keep heading there. This is a petite little winery, only on 15 acres. The yield is very small, 2,000 cases annually, but the taste is wonderful. And the owner, Marcelo Dofo, shared his secret with us. He plays classical music in the vineyard for the grapes. He says they like it. Now, going on to Europa Village. Europa Village really pays homage to 3 countries in Europe, and that's France, Italy, and Spain. Now, it does this by the wines because they do have labels, each of those countries do, but also by the environment there. You know, what better place to sit in the afternoon on a patio? It's like a French-style bistro. And in the evenings, you can take a group and go to their Italian-style grotto. They have musical dinners. The themes, of course, are Italian, Spanish, and French. So head over there too. Now, the very newest kid on the block is Lorimar. And Lorimar is the 37th winery in the valley. Now, it was developed with a bride in mind, says the owner, Mark Manfield, and that's why it's so grand. And then not far from Lorimar is Ponte Family Winery. Ponte's winery is really where you have a little bit of everything. You have world-class gardens, you have a wonderful gift shop, the tasting room, an award-winning restaurant, just about everything. And next door is South Coast Winery. South Coast Winery, if Temecula Valley had a town center, so to speak, it would be South Coast Winery. South Coast Winery has luxury villas, it has a spa. It was nominated, or voted actually, the best California winery 2 years running. But I would have to say that really the gateway to the wine country in Temecula is Thornton Winery. Thornton Winery is in a chateau, French chateau village setting, and Thornton Winery is really known for its sparkling wines. So don't miss on those, and don't miss their Champagne Jazz series. And lastly, I want to share with you, but I'm sure you know the name if you've had their bubbly. Their favorite is Wilson Creek Almond Champagne. Now, it's in a beautiful setting, and it has a little creek meandering through it, which is named Wilson Creek. So now that I've shared with you places to go in Southern California so you can socialize and sip and swirl, I say let's give it to Temecula Valley. Cheers, Temecula.
We are back in the kitchen with Chef Bernard from the Marine Room, one of my favorite chefs in San Diego.
Thank you.
Thanks. And you are cooking up risotto.
The rice that we are using today is arborio. Arborio is a classic Italian. But let's say that we wanted it to be healthier. What about doing a brown rice? Mochi Gourmet is a brown rice who is grown actually in Northern California, and it's coming also, well, originally from Japan. So you can really play with, you have also some quinoa, or you can do the Thai rice. Thai black rice is really beautiful. And if you want to stay US of A, you go wild rice. It's really fantastic, easy to do. So today what I'm looking for is flavors. So we're not using any meat at all. So I want something that's going to be really healthy for me. So I have mushrooms. Mushrooms are available all year round. So this is an all year round recipe. That's what's really cool about it. So what we have here is king oyster mushrooms. So those mushrooms actually are grown in San Diego, in San Marcos. So I'm just going to slice it a little bit. And then you have some honchimeji mushrooms. So the honchimeji mushrooms are those little guys right over here. Now, everybody thinks that, oh, Bernard, mushrooms, do I wash them?
Right.
Well, if you wash mushrooms, you see they're very porous. So the water will go right into it, and then it will become very mushy. So what you want to do is a damp cloth, and you just brush it, and it will be just perfect.
All right, well, that's one mistake I was making.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the thing is, sometimes, so if you take morels mushroom, for example, they can be very sandy. So in that case, what you will have to do is you prepare a nice big bucket of water, and you just put those in the water, and you just pretty much 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, all the sands will disappear.
So
and be
really
perfect.
quickly, okay.
Very, very quickly. All right, so what we have here is what? A little bit of butter. My grandmother would say, butter, if you are eating it a little bit at a time, you'll be just fine. And guess what? No cholesterol in my family.
Very good.
Here we go.
All
A little bit of butter. And then we're going to put our shallots. So shallots is from the onion family. Let's say you'd have no shallots at the house. You can use a regular onion or red onion. It'll be just fine. So then we take
and then the
mushrooms. And we're going to cook all this together. So this will have so much fragrance. So honchimeji are those little guys. Aren't those the sexiest little mushrooms? Look at those. It's like the perfect little mushrooms. Look at that. This is just so cute. All right. And then we'll add some maitake mushrooms. So they call it N of the wood in America. But those over here actually are coming from Japan. And they are really readily available in all your supermarket. So you look at the recipe and say, Bernard, I love you, but guess what? I am living in that little town. There's no way we have those mushrooms. Do you have button mushrooms? Perfect. What about portobello mushrooms? They're available everywhere. For the portobello, you want to scrape the gills. You know this part over here, right here, you want to remove those because it is really very earthy and it will be a little bit too strong. So you can really play with it. And what about if you want to add a little bit of vegetables? Zucchinis, or what about some beautiful butternut squash diced? That would be just fantastic.
Wow.
All right, sauté, 1, 2, 3, voilà.
All right, I won't be doing that
You'll
part.
be able to do it. That's not a problem. But already, you see how it smells?
Yes,
See
it
that?
smells
This
fantastic. No, it really does.
So, doing risotto is an art. It just doesn't happen just like this. So what you want to do is you roast your mushrooms, then we will add our rice. And what you want to do, and this is where the art is, you have to make sure that you have your stock ready. So today we are using a beautiful vegetable stock I already prepared, and that stock have to be hot. You cannot put cold stock into your risotto or it doesn't work. So you know what the rice is doing right now? It's absorbing all the fat, absorbing all the liquid, and you can see, look, there's nothing on the bottom of the pan. And at the same time, you're roasting the rice. So it gives another layer of flavor, which is delicious. What we'll do now, we'll add a little bit more flavor. You know, I saw you a few minutes ago having a little teaspoon of my 20-year-old sherry. The plan is to put it in the pot now. Un petit peu plus. Hop, c'est bon. Voilà. So now you're starting the cooking process of this.
If you could only smell this, this is unreal.
Yeah, go ahead. This is smell-o-vision. This is brand new.
Love it.
This is brand new. Here we go. And now what we do is we'll add our stock. And you see what I just did, right? 2 ladles at a time. Then when the liquid is absorbed, I will add a little bit more of the broth until the risotto is cooked. It takes about 18 minutes.
Picture perfect sunny day, everyone together, color the blue sky, feeling the rain, paint yourself
as you can see now, all the liquid has been absorbed. So it means that your rice has really started to cook gently. So what you want to do is, now that you can see the bottom of the pan, you add 1.5 or 2 more. We're going to do 2 more. 2 more ladle of broth. And we mix it again and bring it back to a simmer and continue to cook it. So the great thing about this recipe is you should have a glass of wine right here, for example. So like this, you can cook, you wash it, you watch the risotto cooking, you have a little sip, you know, talk with your friends. I mean, a lot at my house, for example, you know what I do? When I do risotto, everybody has a glass of wine and they all watch me cook. I'm not cooking, it's cooking by itself. But in the meantime, it's a gathering.
Yeah, you have
so you have a conversation,
right.
and that's what it should be.
About.
It's not eating; it is really a gathering, and I don't know, it's connecting with your friends and family. Our risotto is almost ready. Now we're gonna give it a little love.
All right.
So a little love for me is breaking the rules. So you have mushrooms. What about mushroom and preserved figs, sun-dried figs? So we're gonna add some sun-dried figs now, not too much, just about 1/2 cup. And some pecans because it's the season, you know? A little bit of pecans. So I like the nuts. And then we'll add some wonderful cheese over here. And you know what it is, right? Come on, tell me. Tell me.
Mascarpone?
Mascarpone.
Oh, I got it.
Yes. And then we'll add a little bit of Parmigiano. Just a bit of Parmesan like this. And then parsley. So you end up with a dish which is really nice and
look
full
at
of
that,
flavors.
the colors, the richness of it. Oh, so healthy.
But I think that we're gonna just jazz it up a little bit more. Ladies and gentlemen, ooh la la, truffle oil. Not too much, maybe like I would say 1 tablespoon. And to that, a pinch of sea salt. Make sure you use good sea salt. Fleur de sel is great. And white pepper. The reason I like white pepper is because the flavor is much cleaner than the black pepper. So we mix this together and we are ready. We are ready to have a very well-balanced, yummy, tasty, really cool and fun risotto.
I'm Dave Rickards from San Diego Jack FM, and when I'm not sitting on my couch scratching myself, I'm checking out Phoebe Chongchua and her crew of lovely people at livefitmagazine.com. You better believe it.
Live Fit Magazine gives away your favorite prizes. Watch to win. Subscribe on youtube.com/Live Fit Magazine and find us on facebook.com/Live Fit Magazine. Find contest details and enter to win prizes at livefitmagazine.com. Plus, learn how you can be featured or become a sponsor of the Live Fit Magazine show. Live fit, live well, live it up on Live Fit Magazine.
And that's our show. Always wanted to do that, giving Boyer a run for his money.